got this. Okay, the scene I want to do something relatively simple, but it'll make us think about how to do a few things. So what I want to do is, so the scene goes like this. Let me put this on like this. It looks so stupid.
It's a good look.
What I need to do is put a little piece of tape in there. But so here's the trick. So now I'm looking at you because I've got you on the thing as well. This is my first time ever streaming, so this is very cool.
It's very exciting.
It's
Happy to be a
very
part.
exciting. It's very exciting. So so the scene goes like this. A guy pulls up to a gas station. His kids are in the car. Um, he and we can do this in a different order. This is the thing about storyboarding, right? It may not happen exactly in this order, but maybe his car's already pulled up at the gas station, but he goes in to prepay for gas. No, not to prepay because we're making it in modern times. So maybe he's just buying something, and he has maybe a quick exchange with the clerk. Comes out to pump gas, starts pumping gas. His kids are fighting in the back of the car. They're like disagreeing over something stupid. They're hitting each other or whatever. I don't know exactly
Nice.
how old they are. Huh? They're
I said, yeah, nice. Go
yeah,
on.
right. And then suddenly the dude, who just is like this normal dude, his interaction with the teller was normal, everything was normal. Suddenly he pulls the gas, um
Pump, like the
the
nozzle.
nozzle out, and goes and starts spraying gasoline into the
Oh,
car. Okay. Now listen to me, right? He starts spraying gasoline into the car. Oh, he was getting ready to go to there's like fishing poles in the car and stuff, and he was actually getting some stuff for fishing in the place, and including some matches, right? So then he comes out, he starts shooting gas in the car, and then he just start and his kids start screaming like bloody murder screaming, right? Because they're like, "What are you doing?" Right? And he's just like in a trance, and he's doing that, and he starts just lighting one match after another and throwing it into the car, which it isn't doing anything because a match won't actually light gasoline, right? But he's doing it, and the kids are screaming, and they can't and they can't get out of the car because of things, and they're doing, and then a bunch of people, like somebody notices from the other pump, and maybe the teller does too, and they come out, and they straight up just tackle him and like knock him to the ground, and um and that's the opening scene. Like we cut to basically a detective, discussing like what's going on, and that guy's in a room, like, and basically this is the opening to a movie that's about it's a zombie movie, except that there's no zombies. It's based on this idea that something could break in your brain. You could get a virus that would basically remove your ability to contain your rage or to make a moral decision at a certain point. And the problem is no one knows who has the virus unless they snap, right? So
yeah, yeah.
it's a different kind of zombie movie. And of course, the idea, spoiler alert, is like at some point during the movie, the person who's investigating these crimes and figuring out like why are all of a sudden these seemingly normal people doing these like really violent things, um, uh, that that detective is going to find out, is going to maybe have it, right? And then they question their own ability to. So it's a zombie movie. I haven't come up with a title for it, but this opening
Yeah.
scene really kind of sets the tone.
But now it comes on suddenly, it seems like.
Y-
Like he was fine when he walked in.
Yeah, but something about the way his kids were fighting,
Yeah.
it just set off the thing.
Like he was a carrier. and he needed a trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. It's sort of like the opposite of what was that Shyamalan movie? Uh,
Oh yeah, the
The Plants.
happening.
Yeah, The
Yeah, the
Happening.
happening, and at
That's
the
it.
end it was the plants trying to kill the
Yeah, yeah.
people or whatever. It was weird, but no, this one's it's really exploring culpability, right? So the
Mm,
theme behind the movie is like I don't know if you ever heard of the shooter from the University of Texas shooter, the guy who like one of the first mass shooters, and he stood up in a tower. He might have killed like 14 people or something.
yeah,
And after he did that, he left a note and basically said, "Study my brain." Like I need to look up the note, but it was basically like something happened to me and I don't know what it is. And when they looked into it, he had like a giant tumor that was pressing on like the part of your brain that makes you violent.
crazy.
Which makes you think like, well, how much of what we do is under our control? How much? And I'm not going to answer these questions in the movie, but I think it's
Yeah,
fun to explore them.
and let's say that that guy was still alive and he was caught, and they did a surgery to remove the tumor, and then he was normal. Is he free to go?
Exactly, right? Because
Yeah.
well, and there was a really interesting radio lab where this one's really dark. I mean, not that a not that a mass shooter isn't dark, but this one was dark because this guy had brain surgery. No record of anything. Normal guy, his whole life had brain surgery, and then started looking at child pornography, and ended up getting blown in for it, and described what happened. And basically, the doctors and the podcast was exploring like, was this guy in control of himself or not? Like what happened, right?
Yeah.
And it's scary as hell to think about, but that's what a zombie movie should be, right? So it's like it's a psychological zombie thriller.
It's good. I think, by the way, when you go back and title this for when you put it on YouTube, it should be called Light-Hearted Scene Design in Oculus Rift.
Great,
It's a, yeah,
lighthearted scene, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I actually I would ideally I'm seeing this as like a Spielberg opening scene like from the 80s. Like there was some dark shit in those Spielberg movies,
yeah,
but it was family friendly. Like he doesn't actually kill the kids, right? He doesn't actually set them on fire. They're freaked out, right? So I do want to be sensitive to that. I'm not trying to totally just be sensational and like violent. I'm trying to show like something really scary happening to a trusted person, but he gets stopped, and then everybody's trying to figure out what the fuck happened to this guy. And then, of course, you'll hear through the news, you know, about other things that happen, and you'll
other
start to
things
see them.
happening.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. Does he buy a pack of cigarettes also
Well,
with the matches?
I think people are too judgy about smokers, so I don't.
No,
They are.
no,
I
because he
think it would be
needs he.
better. No. Jason, he should be getting marshmallows, graham crackers, chocolate,
Okay, okay.
matches. That's what he
Real
should
turn of
fucking get.
events.
Yeah.
Real turn of events.
So he gets those things, and you're just like, oh, look at this wholesome dad, and they're going fishing. He's
He's
got the
definitely not
kids.
going to light his kids on fire.
He's
Yeah.
this guy's definitely not lighting these kids on fire, right? So that's the scene. Counter bugs. It would be helpful if we
Ooh, yeah. So there's one.
could recreate them.
Let me see what's going on here.
You know what would be cool is if the other if so I'm trying to think which would be more I think the it would be cool if there was like a if the guy who saved the kids was actually were actually like a guy who we were like suspicious
You didn't
of.
like him? Like in the
Yeah, like
store?
yeah, like we see a guy and he's kind of like creepy. It makes the guy like check out and look at his kid, so that you're kind of wondering because you know this is a creepy movie, right? When you come to it, and you never saw this opening character, um. So you like encounter this like creepy dude, but it's actually the dad who's scary, and then the creepy dude is the one
Yeah,
who
yeah, yeah.
rescues the kids. I think that would be good. Gas station?
Well, you could do it from, so let's say like you hear the bell, like from one of those old school, like we used to have on the office from a door opening,
Right.
right? And then it's like you're inside the gas station in the store, and he's like walking around the store or he gets up to the counter, and then there's like sort of a through shot where you're looking past his face. You can see outside to the car and the kids in the car. He could even make conversation with the clerk or something,
Yeah.
referencing
Which
the
is a
kids.
whole nother scene. Like we would set up a different scene for that.
Yeah.
Um, the car is floating now.
Yeah, and the kids cut in half.
Yeah. Um, but in terms of the like most dramatic part of what happens,
Gasoline fight.
I should really do this standing on my feet, walking around.
Yeah, but you need a lot of space, but it
Yeah.
is way better.